Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our listeners here. Today, I've got a very special guest with me, someone who I've waited for a long time to get onto this podcast. Today, we have Gregorio Uglioni. Did I say that right, Greg?
Yes.
Thank you. And you guys might know him as someone else. So he is the legendary CX Goalkeeper. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Amit. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's really a big pleasure to share my thoughts together with you and together with your audience. I am always well when we can find time to speak together, to chat about interesting topics, and therefore super thrilled about this episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Greg. There is something that I did mention to you before the event as well, and this is something which is true, which is I've never felt so much nervous in having a podcast with anybody. I don't know, it is just the persona, it's your aura, and it's also because I do listen to a lot of your podcasts. So it's like a little bit of a fan moment. This was the inspiration for me to do what I'm doing right now. So, thank you for that inspiration there.
On the other side, I say thank you to you for the kind words. I'm doing what you are doing and what everybody's trying to do, to share what we learn, what we know, and have a nice discussion and to get a bit better than yesterday. And therefore, please don't feel nervous. I'm not biting. Don't worry at all. I am super happy and super thrilled to have this discussion. And, we are in the same community. We are working together. We are helping each other because we want to do something relevant for human beings, creating value for human beings. And this is the commonality that we have, and therefore super happy to be here.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, to start off with, I'm sure a lot of our listeners will also be watching you or hearing you for the first time. And as I did for myself, when I watched you and I kind of heard you for the first time on your podcast. So I'm intrigued, and this is what intrigued me as well. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners will also have the same question. CX Goalkeeper, right? Where does that come from? What is the CX Goalkeeper?
Super happy to share that. Basically, CX stays for customer experience, and goalkeeper. The people watching the video, see the background. It's a soccer field, a football field for Europeans. I am also in Europe. And what I did in the past, I put together my two passions. It's customer experience, everything around customer and employee experience, and football. And I said, let's try to find a way to explain in a bit different way all what we are discussing, how important is to take care about customer, to take care about employees, to take care about human beings. And as usual, I need to quote that to say that the idea came together with James Dawkins. He is the CX rock star. And discussing with him, I said, let's start with CX Goalkeeper. Short about me, I have a corporate job. I'm working in an hospital, and the CX Goalkeeper is my hobby. It's what I'm doing every evening, sharing podcasts, sharing stories, because at the end, we want all to grow. And what I learn, I want also to share with others.
No, perfect. That explains, and this for the audience and for the listeners as well. That explains why it has taken a while for us to get the CX Goalkeeper online, is because obviously, as you mentioned, you are committed, you've got a corporate job, and then this is what you do as a hobby. How do you balance that time? How do you manage to find that balance?
The most important thing that missing in what you said is my family. My family is energizing me, and therefore family, corporate job, and my hobby, I try to match them together. And I think that's consistency, stability, having around me really great people, my wife, my son, my mother, all the people around me, my family, helping me and supporting me, and living what we are trying to say, that we want to help others. That's what we are doing also at home. If my wife knows I have a podcast, then she's doing other stuff. And sometimes she has business meetings, and then I am at home and I cannot do that. And therefore, trying to support each other as a team, also in the family, using the example of football. Everybody helps the other to achieve the same goal, to be a good family, to spend quality time together and to grow all together.
So I think this is also a lesson in CX as well, or customer service. It could be where we have customer service teams, whereby you do need help and assistance from others to succeed as a team. It's not just you alone fighting the battle, without support, you are basically nothing when it comes to customer service as well.
Exactly. This is one of the example I often share. And not only in customer service, but let's take the business as itself. The marketing department with their goals, the customer service department with other goals that perhaps are concurring with the marketing, and IT doing other stuff. This should be a team. They should always work together towards a common target, a common goal. Scoring goals in businesses to do business, to create revenues, to create value for the customers. And if they have different goals, it would be like a midfield player that gets the target to run around for the most possible number of kilometers or miles. And yes, when the game starts, he starts running around, he achieves his target, but the team will not win. And therefore, it doesn't matter.
No, you hit the nail on the head with that one. And just talking from a business perspective and the customer's perspective, there are so many departments in the business that are not directly customer facing, but they also have that impact in making that customer feel the part of the brand, part of the message that the company is giving out. When any company or any such organization comes to you with such a problem, have you ever had anything to resolve in the past with this?
I think I start with the theory, and then we can go into an example. Basically, that's always the same discussion. You speak with the accountants or the finance department and tell me, yes, but I don't have direct contact to the customer. I said, yes, I understand that. But you are ensuring that all the processes, the management processing, are flowing in the correct way, are done in the correct way, because at the end you are working for the customer, because without customer there is no business. And therefore the accountant ensure that the company can send out bills, can pay bills in order to ensure a smooth flow of the business. Everybody's doing that. And there for me, it's always the big question: is customer experience a department or is something different? And Shep Aiken is sharing that in a perfect way. Customer experience is the mindset, is the way of living the business, because our salaries are not paid by our shareholders. Our salaries are paid by our customers, and the customers ensures that we as employees get paid, and then at the end gives also revenues for the shareholders to share or to invest in the business. And I think starting with this discussion, it really helps, because everybody in the company should understand that they are part of delivering exceptional customer experience, of delivering experience to the customers, and ensuring that this continuous flow of business continues. Because at the end, I know in the customer experience we are, and sorry to say that, and I hope that nobody feels that I am unpolite, we are a bit in a bubble in the customer experience. We are thinking all disciplines, all topics are in customer experience, and we need to manage them. I think I see in the other way around. Our target is also to make understandable in the company that we all as a company, as a team, work together towards providing value for the customer, value for the employees, and value for the company. By doing that, you achieve all the business results that you want, you achieve long-term growth, and this is what we should do all together.
No, very well said. And this is something that is a constant battle in every business that I've joined as well, which is customer service is only seen to be part of those that face the customers. Those that don't face the customers don't think they are responsible for customer experience or customer service. But as we discuss, I think this becomes very obvious that everybody in the company is equally responsible for doing that. The next question that I have around is customer service. And people do talk about this, and I have this question for you. People say, customer service evolves, customer service changes, we have to keep up with the trends, etc., etc. I think customer service has the mantra of customer service, the message of customer service has been the same or is the same, no matter in which century, which decade do you look at. Is that something that you agree with as well?
I think we are back to this idea of customer experience. Every company is different. Every company wants to differentiate itself. But basically, customer service, it's the simplest way to explain that is, I am here to help you. It means if you are contacting me, then you need something, I am here to help you. And this is the foundation. And in every different era, I think it's always the same. We are human beings. First of all, the basics should work. Please solve my issue. If I am contacting you to change my address, or because the bill is not paid, or I cannot pay the bill and I am asking for a deferral of the payment, try to solve my issue. Please solve it, and then let's go to the next level and being empathetic, understanding the people and so on. But you can try to create every time's wow moments, but if you are not solving the issues, is not relevant. I think if we reduce everything to what you said, one customer service employees need to be competent, need to be not to be able to solve the issue, and need to be empathetic, need to understand the people on the other side. You said perhaps today you are a bit nervous because of this podcast. Tomorrow you are not nervous and you act in a bit different way. And therefore, on the other side, it's a phone, it's a chat, it's a video discussion. You need to be empathetic and try to find ways of connecting with the other people to create a long-lasting relationship, because that's what we want to do. Think about if I started the podcast telling you, it's great that you are nervous because I am so important, then you would be even more nervous. But that's not the way of doing business. And also having this discussion on a podcast, I try to be empathetic, to understand you. You say you're a bit nervous, then I try to calm down you, because at the end, you are a human being, I am a human being with a cap.
Human being with a CX Goalkeeper cap. We'll come to the merchandise question later, because I do have that later in the podcast. So yeah, I mean, completely agree with you, which is, this is what I think as well, which is customer service. The basis is the same, is just to help the customer. The tools are evolving, how we are using those tools, the methodologies are evolving, the way we are contacting the customer is evolving, but the message or the basics is the same, which is help your customer. Where do you think companies are going, or where do you think the companies are lacking a bit of focus these days? Because I'm sure in your personal experience, you would have experienced some good service and some bad service. So when you have experienced that bad customer, I shouldn't call it bad customer service. It should be something along the lines of customer service that did not meet your standards as a customer.
There are several ways to approach this question. On one side, there was, I know it's old, but it's really, again, really important. If you ask companies, 80% of the companies are saying we are customer-centric. If we have customers, 8% of the customers are saying that. And therefore, we have a big mismatch about what companies think and what customers are thinking. And yes, your audience can challenge the number. It's 80, it's 70, it's 50. Sorry, I think it's not relevant. The importance is the big difference, because what companies are thinking and what customers are thinking. And related to this topic, I am also a customer, because I am an employee, I am a customer. And as a customer, I am feeling that there are big issues. Colin Shaw on his podcast is often sharing that based on the American statistics from the USA, we are in the last 17 years or 13 years at the lowest level of customer satisfaction. We are discussing a lot about this. And in companies, we spend so much time in meetings discussing not so relevant things, because I want to be polite and phrase that in this way, instead of focusing what can we do to deliver a good customer experience. I didn't say exceptional, I said a good customer experience. A customer experience where the customer can work together with us. They know what they can expect from us as companies. They get delivered what they want. And sometimes we can create these wow moments, or if you're a luxury brand, for sure, we need always to create this luxury moment. But I think we are speaking far too much about the topic, and we are delivering less value for the employees, for the companies, and then at the end for the customers. And therefore, I think we need really to start working on that and delivering, instead of always creating this discussion and the next steering committees and the steering committee of the steering committee to take the decisions. And I think this is where I am really struggling also with my podcast, how we can really create this movement of delivering. And perhaps it's not always the perfect solution, and therefore I'm a big fan of agility, delivering a minimum viable product to the customer. We can test and co-creation, starting working with the customer from the beginning of the project, not only in the test phase, and then working together with them, creating good experiences. I have also plenty of bad experiences with companies where I say, sorry, it cannot be possible, 2023, and you are not able to answer to my email, or you are not able, if I contact you through the phone because you didn't answer to my email, you don't know that I wrote you an email. These are the basics.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And this is what is a bit frustrating as well in terms of from a customer's perspective, because now we have got the technology to help us. We have got a lot of assistance that we did not have, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So from what you're saying, the customer experience should go the other way. It should get better and better along with this assistance. So coming back to this question, which is so what you say is that companies are not realizing that they are not delivering or what they say. Do you think statistics and data are also responsible for that? Because we hear a lot about CSAT scores, we hear a lot about SLAs, and if we there is this impression in the industry, if we are hitting these numbers, if we are achieving the numbers, it means our customer service is good. So where does it fall short? Where is that misconception then coming from? Because companies are hitting SLA numbers, companies are hitting CSAT numbers, yet the customers are complaining that it's not good service.
I need to find a good political answer to these questions that I can still work and stay in business. Basically, I share one example, and perhaps on that we can elaborate. You said eating numbers. I know a really good company in Switzerland that they are saying our NPS is higher than 50. And then you start looking into the data and you see, okay, higher than 50 is the transactional NPS over the phone. And how many feedbacks do you have? And then you say, oh, so there's really a big number of feedbacks. And then you ask, are you asking really to all customers that are calling you this question? And they say, yes, only the one that we can answer to. It means all the customer dropping out during the waiting line because it's too waiting queue because it's too long. We're not asking them because they had no contact with us, and therefore it doesn't make sense to ask them. And they say, yes, you can, let's say, message your ego with this great number. It's great, well done. I think your bonus will get paid at the end of the year. But please look into the feedbacks and ask the people, the customer that you are not servicing, because I am not so sure if somebody is dropping out of the line because the waiting time is too long, that it will be a promoter. Perhaps it's a detractor. And then you can quickly the number quickly change. And then we can always tell stories around these numbers. With the 80 that I said earlier, you can create another story, and this is clear and understandable. I think we need really to come back to speaking about football, to the main target. In a football game, the main target is to score goals. Yeah. In companies is to achieve business results, and all the other numbers, CSAT, NPS, and so on, this can be supportive to achieve these goals, but we need to focus on that target. Do I keep my customer? Do I get new customer? Do customers buy more from me? These are the targets that you want to achieve, because then you can really look on your P&L and find out, does it make sense or not?
And you kind of really hit the nail on the head there, because what it does is you can keep showing these numbers, and these numbers can, like you said, statistics are some things which, you know, companies use to measure, and they are not at times the true reflection of the experience of the customer. From as a customer, so if I am a customer and you're a customer, what can we do? Because we interact with so many businesses, we interact with so many different organizations. What can we do as a customer to encourage or to point these companies in the right direction, so that they understand that the customer service that they're delivering is not what they think it is?
This is a good question. I think the biggest issue that companies can have in that case is resignation. If customer stops telling you, stops complaining, what it's not working. Therefore, as a customer, I continuously try to give feedback. But I want to be really fair. I give positive feedback and negative feedback, not only always complaining and blaming companies, but saying, oh, in that case, I had a great experience. And I want to share that. And I share that through social media or other ways, or really saying to the contact center employees, it was great. Thank you that you helped me. I was not expecting such a feedback. I think really, as a customer, let's continue giving feedback, because at some point in time, companies will understand that they need to really care about our feedback. Because nowadays, move to another company, move to another competitors is much more easier than in 10, 20, 15 years ago. And at the end, yes, as a company, your competitor is only one click far away. Mm-hmm. Therefore, let's really, as a customer, continue giving feedback, providing feedbacks, because I see also really great examples in Europe, in the USA, about companies focusing on customer and having incredible growth journeys with their customers.
No, yeah, that's so true, because the kind of companies, so talking from a LinkPad point of view, the business, the translation management system that we offer, this is something that we find as well. A lot of companies that come to us for help are those who are very customer centric, but they want to give the customer that experience that the competitor is not providing, and that is multilingual experience, which is if you're comfortable in a language, you can come onto our website, you can read the website in your own language, you've got your help center, you've even got the chat or communication in your own language. So just like the example that you gave us earlier, old people, for example, somebody who is moved to a new country, or someone who's talking to a business in another country, another part of the world. Sometimes those customers are not so confident in engaging with you, or they do not have that level of engagement if you don't have support in their language. So what are your thoughts on multilingual customer service? Is it something that all the companies should look into? Is it a good thing for them? Is it a good experience for the customer? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's one possible key success factor, because I grew up in Switzerland. I am in Zurich, but I grew up in an other region in Switzerland, and everybody knows that English is not my mother tongue, German is not my mother tongue, my mother tongue is Italian. And if I can speak and discuss with other people in my mother tongue, I can use nuances and much more words than I can use in the other languages. And I understand also in a bit different way, because I can really understand everything, also what's behind the scene and why you phrase that sentence like that. Therefore, I think for every customer, if they can speak, discuss, interact with companies in their language, is a massive increase in the customer experience. I think customer satisfaction will increase massively, because then I am sure that I can explain everything, and on the other side, somebody understand me. And there are these great technologies like yours that help on the other side to really understand what people are saying and to provide the answer. I feel much more comfortable if I get an answer in Italian, because I'm 100% sure I understand that, and so on. It's a stupid example, but I am happy to share that. Sometimes also here I need to go to the doctor. And if the doctor speaks German, then my biggest point is, how should I phrase that the doctor or the physicians can understand what's my issue? And how should I say these words and so on? And all the words are coming to me in Italian. I would feel much more less nervous if I could speak in my languages, and on the other side, somebody understand me. And I am always looking for people that speaks Italian, for example, also in customer service, because I can phrase that in a different way. And companies offering this technology and providing really good levels, quality levels of that language, I am super happy to interact with them. And for me, it's much more easier to explain my issue, but also to empathize and to understand the people on the other side. Therefore, I think this is really a key success factor to satisfy his customer. And as we know, customer expectations are increasing. And if we can speak our language, I think it's really a big advantage.
No, you say that from a very good angle there, but I'm also thinking of when we are also taking customer feedback. Okay, and just like you said, the restrictions or sometimes some obstacles that people have in describing the experience in different language as they would in their own language. So if you ask me to describe an experience in my mother tongue, I will find it a lot easier than, say, a second or a third language. So that will help the business understand my problem better because my feedback is going to be very genuine that way.
I think this is extremely important, and also the words that you choose on the other side, they can really interpret that and understand why you selected this word. And not only this, but then you can also try to understand the cultural differences, because something that for me it's normal, perhaps in another country is not normal. And therefore, I think this opportunity to speak different languages with customer or the preferred language of the customer is much more important than interacting with the customer on a specific challenge.
I mean, just on the note of statistics, our CEO just loves giving statistics as well. And this was one statistic that he gave, which is Facebook, the company Meta, as it's called now. So Facebook experienced exponential growth only after they introduced Facebook in different languages, because a lot more people could understand and interact with the website. And so it got so popular, and that's where it kind of shot up its revenues and things. So,
and with this example, it's I think everybody on that podcast knows Mr. Beast from YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was doing everything in English, and I don't know if some months ago or a few years ago he started with Spanish and with other languages, and now his reach is incredible. That's much more than only for US speaking, because everything gets translated into the different languages. I am quite sure it's in Spanish. I don't know if it's translated that in other languages, but only that he was sharing on several videos. It was a big boost of his business, because not only native speakers, people that can understand a bit of English are following them, but they can follow them, and the people on the other side really understand what it's saying.
Yeah, I think it does have a very positive impact on there. My next question on the same topic we are discussing about multilingual and customer service there is introduction of AI. There can be no podcast these days without discussing AI. Everybody wants to talk about AI, or they think, oh, AI is this wonderful tool. If they implement it, all their problems are going to go away. Okay, AI works. It's not AI, it's magic. Or some people are extremely scared of it, and they say, you know what, let's stick to what we have. We don't understand this, so let's not introduce this. Where do you sit on this scale? What is your thoughts on AI?
I think this is an incredible technology that we should learn to live with, because this technology is here to stay. And I say AI is an augmentation of our intelligence. Basically, we are speaking about multilingual contact center. And I ask you a question. Do you know which is the most use case from what I am doing with ChatGPT? It's quite easy. I am grammatically checking all my emails. Are grammatically correct? Can a native speaker understand what I'm doing in German and in English? The quality of my email improved dramatically because of this opportunity. And this is an augmentation of what I'm doing. It means I still write the email because it's my thoughts, and then I can translate it. And the same I can do, I write it perhaps in Italian, translate that to German, and then done, boom, I can send it out. And therefore, artificial intelligence is here to stay. We need to start understanding that, at least at eye level, because it's extremely complex, and we need to try to find use cases how we can leverage AI. I think in few years, every companies will work with AI, will use the AI, will leverage AI, and I think what AI can really do for us is augmenting our capabilities, and companies should leverage that to support employees and to support customer. I often see customer-facing solution, AI-based and so on. But please do not forget of having this artificial intelligence supporting employees, customer service representative, helping them finding the next possible solution, or when they are speaking with the customer, avoiding the next possible issues that a customer could face. And basically, this is the way to go. And for me, artificial intelligence is great help also for translation, to help me also with my podcast checking and so on. I think it's here to stay, and it's a mean, it's not the solution.
Okay. And again, this is what I suggest as well. When I speak with people, I say, use it as an assistant. Think about it as you've got an extra pair of hands to help you do something. It's not there to replace you in some cases, but it is there to help you do your job better. If you can say, for example, just giving you the example of multilingual, if you can get translated something back in the day would take you a day or a few hours. Now with AI, you can get it done in a matter of minutes or as quickly as possible. Like you said, you use AI to check your emails. Now, a few years ago, that was not a possibility. You could not check those things. So again, you're using it as an assistant, and this is a great assistant to have. In certain places, it has enhanced the efficiency of the agents. So it's nothing to be afraid of or nothing to worry about. But the only big but I would say is know what you want to achieve with it. Don't just implement it, or don't just start using it without understanding what you're trying to achieve from it. I think that's where most companies are also making a mistake as well.
Let me say one thing, because what you're saying, it's key. It's key. If you want to implement AI, start with one use cases, test it, and find out how it works. I see a lot of companies that are trying to implement 10, 15, 20 use cases at the same time in contact centers, and they don't understand what is happening. And therefore, let's do quick cycles, create the next use case, and then you start learning, improving, and understanding how you can leverage it. Because we don't know what AI can do in 3 months. We don't know what AI can do in 6 months or in 1 year. Therefore, one use case is after the other, and then go straight and use it as an assistant, as you're saying.
Okay, now thank you so much for your time, Greg. This probably should be the end of the podcast here, because we've exceeded the time, but I really appreciate your time with us. There was a couple of things that I wanted to ask you, which I haven't managed. So I'll just very quickly put that in the questions for you, which is merchandise. I love that CX Goalkeeper cap. Is that something that you sell as well? Is that something that people can go ahead and buy?
Not yet, but happy to open up a store. I got few requests, and at some point in time, I will create that. But basically, before getting the cap, I would say follow the podcast, and then we will find a way how you can get a cap.
Thank you. I'm going to put all the links to your podcast. I'm going to put all your LinkedIn links, etc., there, so people can find you very easily. That's that. Okay, there's one more thing that I've got left for you before you leave. Is we have a question or a trivia question round. So it's a what if, okay? Would you rather? I'm sorry. What would you rather? So I've got 5 questions here, completely out. They're completely for fun. So again, just don't just say what the first thing that comes to your mind. It makes it more exciting and interesting. And let's see where it goes. Okay, so this is the trivia round for you. Okay, my first question to you is, would you rather live without the internet or live without AC and heating?
No, I think eating is more important.
Okay, so you'd rather live without the internet, you still want heating there. Okay. The other thing is, would you rather be unable to use any search engines or unable to use any social media?
Social media, because I can use it as a search engine.
Okay, good one. But these days, most of the questions are answered on social media itself. So I don't think
Exactly.
we need search engines, but okay, fair enough. Okay, next one. Would you rather never be able to eat meat again or never be able to eat vegetables again?
No, I like more to eat vegetables than meat. I really like meat,
Yeah.
but I think we need really to take care of the nice place where we are living, our world, and therefore I would go for vegetables.
Okay. Okay. The next one is, would you rather be an amazing painter or a brilliant mathematician?
Oh, I am not good at all with painting, and
Yeah.
I was good at mathematics. Therefore, let's stick to mathematics. And that was one of the when I was a child, I always said I want to to be a mathematic teacher.
Okay. Okay. So you're still good with maths. Okay, the last one, very last question. Would you rather have a flying carpet or a car that drives on air?
Oh, I think the flying carpet would be more interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time there, Greg. I really appreciate your time once again. Thank you for attending the podcast, and it was amazing having this chat conversation with you. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure to help you, to help the audience, to spread the word of mouth, to share my ideas. I hope that you like them, and at least you can take from something from this discussion that will help you during your daily job or during your life. Thank you very much, Amit.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video in our podcast series. Please do let us know in the comments whether you like the video or if you have any suggestions. We have an amazing list of guests lined up for you in the coming few weeks. Please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you and see you soon. Bye-bye.